Here goes your World War III news, recap edition. We have Russia making a video of them refitting their tactical nuclear weapons and putting them in certain positions, or I should say like deploying them. This is after they warned the West that they were going too far in Ukraine in their aid, and France had just said that they were going to deploy troops to Ukraine. Well, that was on the table. Not that they would actually do it, but they did say preparations was on the table. Ukraine has confirmed that too. Here's them putting one on one of their fighter jets as well. This seems to be a big sign to the West. And one of my mods also found something interesting. There's a US drone that's circling right off the Ukraine border and Kaliningrad over here. That's a little piece of Russian territory right there. And this comes as Ukraine has also just did attacks in Crimea. Usually when that happens, that means that they're getting intelligence from the United States, or the United States is delivering weapons, or some other NATO countries delivering weapons over here, or they got intelligence that Russia is planning an attack. In this case, it might be that Ukraine was getting intel on the attack on Crimea. But there's also a UK plane up here circling too, so it could be to be watching them hypersonic missiles that Russia said that they got pointed at NATO, or any kind of deployments going through here. It could be a range of options, but thought this was interesting, so I brought it up. We have a Taiwanese research center that was hacked today, and this comes after that two strategics have said that the United States should defend Taiwan with nuclear strikes and should put those threats towards China. Yet two Atlantic Council papers on the Taiwan War suggest a U.S. plan for nuclear strikes on China. And of course there was backlash because no one should be talking about doing nuclear strikes on another superpower. That's like saying let's do nuclear strikes on Russia. Like, no, that would be the end of the world. Like, no, just stop. This also comes as Russia and China has been getting closer. They have a no limits partnership, and we don't know the limits on that partnership, but China's been helping Russia with non-lethal weapons. They're sending in stuff that could be dual use, like they send in drones that could be used for spying or that could be used for targeting. Russia rebuilds them into military assets. And the US has been saying that this is helping Russia with their war in Ukraine. We also know that NATO has 500,000 troops on high readiness right now, a little more than they did last year, which I believe was 350,000. So this is increasing. We have a Venezuela problem too, but I wanted to bring up there's a lot of drama in Venezuela because also that Guyana situation. If Maduro gets back in office, which they said that he most likely is, unless there's a coup, then there's a big chance that he's probably going to go after Guyana. There is already crazy protests going on in Venezuela right now. And I mean, there are a lot of people, like it's just getting kind of wild over there. But I'm going to keep my eye on the situation. Some people told me to bring this up, so I'm just helping out my supporters, keeping informed of what's going on around the world. Don't forget, Putin made the threats to arm their allies with intermediate nuclear weapons and to make more longer-range nuclear weapons if the United States sends nukes to Germany, which they are supposed to be doing by 2026, so let's see what happens there. Here's the article with Russia refitting their warheads onto their launchers on their nuclear weapons exercise. Here's the one about the U.S. intelligence finding that China is surging equipment sales to Russia to help its war efforts in Ukraine. Also, there was another partnership that was, I guess, getting stronger, and that's the North Korea and Russia. They signed a defense pact which helps them come to each other's defense if they're in trouble. When I heard this, I immediately thought that North Korea more likely is going to send troops to Ukraine, and it seemed like a week after they announced that partnership, they announced that they were going to send those troops to Ukraine. So looks like that's actually a thing. This was dated June the 26th. Just want to keep y'all updated with that. Australia's foreign minister says this is a threat for the world for this partnership, of course, because Russia can arm North Korea with shit that can hit the United States, that can do damage to Japan or South Korea. It's only a matter of time, right? Russia also said that NATO's infrastructure is getting closer to its borders, which, that's put them on higher alert. Duda also admitted that NATO's preparing for war with Russia, which we pretty much already knew. They are a defensive alliance, but they're getting ready for the worst. Netanyahu is also threatening to strike back on any kind of retaliation from Hezbollah or Iran or any other country that decides to attack them. They also cyber attacked Iran today, and they claimed the attack. Here's the one about Ukraine actually targeting Crimea, the one that I brought up earlier. Hezbollah has already did a small attack on Israel, but I don't think this is the retaliation for what happened in Beirut. I think this is one of the retaliations for one of their other attacks. The United States is also announcing $500 million in military investment in the Philippines, and this is coming after tensions with the Philippines and China are going through the roof. There's probably more things I could talk about, but this is just the gist of things for now. I just want to give y'all a brief recap of some of the things that was concerning me. So, show love, much love, and peace. More news next.